Hello music people. In this video I'm going to talk about enharmonic spelling. Enharmonic spelling refers to the fact that you can describe pitches in more than one way. For example, there's a note that comes in between F and G that can be described as either F sharp or G flat. And depending on the musical context, there's times it needs to be called F sharp, other times it needs to be called a G flat. The pitch is the same, it sounds the same, but it looks different on the staff. The challenge is when you are using different music programs to write out sheet music, you could be using a DAW such as Logic, or you could be using a sheet music writing program such as MuseScore, which is what I use, or Sibelius. There might be times, depending on how you use those programs, where you need to go in manually and enharmonically respell, for example, an F sharp to a G flat, or vice versa. Well, how do you do that? I'm going to show you how. I am going to start by sharing a Logic screen with you. And I'm just going to quickly record something very simple. All right, so I just recorded myself playing this pitch, the note that lies between F and G. Now let's see in the screen editor or the score editor here how it spelled it. So yeah, I'm in the treble clef and it identified it as an F sharp. Now most often that is going to be the case. When you play the note between F and G, F sharp generally is used more often than G flat. But the problem I've found with Logic is that even when it's obvious when the note is supposed to be a G flat, it will still spell it as F sharp. So for example, if you're trying to write a C diminished chord, C diminished chord has C, E flat, and G flat, not C, E flat, and F sharp. So how do you change an F sharp to a G flat in Logic? I'll show you. Highlight the note, click on Functions, Note Attributes, Accidentals, and then you have these options for enharmonic shifts. So I'm going to click enharmonic shift to a flat. And when you do that, it does two things. It's going to move the note to a different position on the staff, and it's going to change the accidental, in this case from a sharp to a flat. And to change it back, you do the same sort of thing, except do the enharmonic shift to sharp. You can also do sharps to flats or flats to sharps to do more of a bulk edit. And you're back to a sharp. Now, let's say you're in a sheet music writing program like MuseScore, and you're wanting to write something out. It's a bit easier, especially if you're just using the mouse. You can just write the note that you need right away. And you've got your sharp and flat symbols right up here toward the top and the right of the screen, so you can just insert a sharp note. Now, let's say if you're using a MIDI keyboard to insert musical material into MuseScore, and it interprets a key that you play as an F sharp and you want it to be a G flat, it's easy. You just click the note, drag it up to where it needs to be, and you can click the flat symbol and it makes it a G flat. So that's it. Hope that's helpful. All the best.